But as many of us know, creativity is actually something completely different. The neurobiological study of creativity is a very new field, and what we're starting to learn is that the brain needs a completely different set of circumstances in order to be creative. The creative process is messy and disjointed. And one of the main things that we need to be creative is large blocks of unstructured time. Time when we're not actually actively doing anything that's a highly heavy cognitive task. This is why when you're working on a problem and you're sitting at your desk and you're trying to power through and you can't figure out a solution, why a couple of hours later that idea hits you when you're in the shower, when you're walking the dog, when you're washing the dishes. Sometimes you need to step back from doing a task in order to find the answers that you're looking for. That is how creativity works in our human brains. But productivity doesn't enable us to take those breaks because productivity is all about focus on continuous output. So there's a clear and competing tension between these two ideologies, and you can see how this would actually cause problems at your job. When you're expected to come up with more and more ideas, when you're expected to be more and more creative all the time, and yet your boss is also expecting you to answer emails all the time, to be in meetings all the time, to account for your behavior, to account for where you are and what you're doing while you're on the job. And this is something that has become a standard. We spoke to creatives all over the world that told us the same thing. I don't have time to think. I don't have time to be creative. Many of them told us that they came up with their best ideas when they weren't at work, when they were at home, because it was the only time that they had room to actually think about the stuff that they were trying to do. And when we think about how this applies to the economic model, you can start to see that things need to change drastically.